My question to you two is, imagine we lived in the world where we'd never heard of the gods that have been put through our own history right now. But in fact, the D&D Pantheon gods were the gods that we know in our life. Which D&D god would you choose to follow?
Are we talking
Greyhawk, Dan.
Forgotten Realms, Elberon?
Do you know how quick? 12 seconds.
How are you already mad
12 seconds, you pissed me off. We haven't even started the episode yet. Whichever one you want, man.
Okay.
It's pretty open. You can follow any god you want in D&D in 5th ed, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's roll initiative for it.
Let's do it.
A bonus initiative. I got 11! Fuck yeah, it's the first time I'm going first in like 2 goddamn episodes!
Oh,
I'm so fucking happy.
And it doesn't even matter because it's the cold open. So
I came last.
Assuming that we know for a fact that all of the gods exist,
yes.
Can I choose a demon lord?
Yeah.
Why would you not pray to Asmodeus?
Polymarch. Well, one, because he's not a demon lord.
Or sorry, no, he's an archdevil.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so...
okay.
Right, because... I'm not gonna...
No, I'm still not okay with that.
No, look, he is the most brilliant being in existence. He is nigh immortal. Nobody can hold a candle to him. He has more cultists than anyone except, I think,
Who says that he's the most brilliant being in existence? Because I'm fairly certain that's Asmodeus saying he's the most brilliant being in existence. Like, that's Asmodeus saying, hey guys, guess what? I'm smart.
Smart.
When he super freaking proves it as being the only archdevil that walked into Mount Celestia on a whim, fucked up the place and walked out on a whim.
What have I done?
This guy is freaking amazing as far as power scale goes. He's evil as all hell. I don't want any part of that evil, but if we're hedging our bets and you're going to go to an afterlife one way or the other and you're not really sure how it's going.
He's one of the ones where you'd want to be like middle management. Like, you don't want to be one of the pawns on the front. Like, I always thought that with, like, Voldemort as well. I'd like to be the guy who's, like, middle management where it's not a whole lot of big responsibilities.
You'd like to be Draco Malfoy.
He's like, not even, because he's known too much. I'd like to be I'm like a 5th row type guy, like, in the battle, you know?
I'm in it for the benefits, really.
Yeah.
I'm not
I'll shout abuse all day long, but, like, I'm averting my eyes anytime he looks at me, and I'm kind of looking down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I would grovel in his name, but I'd keep the shrine in the closet, right? I'm not putting that on my front lawn.
Yeah.
So
like a fold-out bed.
Yeah. If we're talking that these guys legitimately exist, then none of the good gods are actually good because they're not helping.
Yeah.
Right? If the blood war is going on...
Why did we let him go first?
And the dice declared. The dice gods declared. With the blood war and the devils and the demons are busy, why are not the holy, the celestial, the big gods on the side of good? Why are they not stepping up and doing anything?
Yeah.
Why are they not taking over? Right? So they're obviously absentee in the D&D world. So I'm going to side with the one guy that's holding back infinite number of demons. Nearly single-handedly, there are other archdevils, but he's the guy.
There's also a handful of fallen angels and stuff that are doing it as well.
He's the guy. He runs more of the 9 hells. He rules like level 9 of the 9 hells. He is 100% the most powerful of all the archdevils. He's the guy.
Yeah.
So if I'm hedging my bets because it's proven, if that's what we're talking about, he's the guy.
What's her name? Celine Dion? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, no, we're not talking Canadian gods.
Okay. Sorry.
But we...
Damn it, because I had Rick Moranis.
I had Michael Bublé.
John Candy.
We good? No,
I don't know any more Canadians. Just you two.
I'm just upset that neither of you said me.
Yeah, there's 6 of us now up here in this fucking tundra.
Anyways, yeah, so if I'm not going to go evil, I'll probably pick Heronius, because why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
But, it's boring.
Dan?
I would probably go Bokob if there was one that I would want to do. I'd go Bokob, one, because of the knowledge and the knowing. I love answering riddles. I love
Who is this? I don't know. I asked the question.
Bokob is the Greyhawk god of magic. Is neutral. It's just the god of magic. And if these gods are real, it guesses that and supposes that magic is thus real. And so, yeah, I'm siding with the god of it. Right? Like, I'd side with Bokob.
That's weird, though, because you don't get power. Like, all right, when you were a cleric and you're praying to the god of magic, shouldn't you just be a wizard?
There is an arcane domain.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
right?
Yep.
There's the knowledge domain.
I would also, if I was an arcane domain cleric, I'd kind of have beef with wizards though. I'd be like, you fuckers. Walking around like the fucking Protestants of the world, just not doing any of the praying, just saying sorry at the end.
No, that's Canadians. You're still confused.
So in 3.5, the things of prestige classes were far bigger and more important in the game, and offered in a lot of variation to characters across the board. One of the best prestige classes, in my personal opinion, is what was called the Mystic Theurge. And the Mystic Theurge, as a min-maxer, as a optimizer, as everything else.
As a power gamer.
As a power gamer, it was lots of fun because you were a 9th level arcane spellcaster, 8th level divine spellcaster. Like, it was ridiculously powerful. It was completely broken, and I completely acknowledge that. But, like...
It got to the point where people wouldn't allow them in their campaign.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I had one that I played, and he just ended up dying. Because he was... They start off super weak. Like, super weak as you're dipping into 2 classes at once to try to level them up. But, So, that aside, if... For whatever reason, Bokov's like, hey, screw you. No. I'm Cord. I'm there with Cord. I'm there beaten face. I'm celebrating the Thunder God.
Beaten face, by the way, is now my new euphemism.
Good. Glad I added to that fire.
I was going to say, it sounds like you're jacking a dick straight into somebody's face. Like the end of it, just like this. Like punch her in the face.
I wish the people at home could see the hand movement.
Boom. Like, so, Dan, let me explain.
No, 1 second. No, I caught the explanation. No.
Because the pullback goes away from the face, but when you go towards the end of the tip of your dick, that's when you hit him in the face.
Yeah.
That's beaten face.
The thing that really drives me insane is from ASL, like American Sign Language, this sign is stress, and that's what you fucking make me. You make me stressed as hell.
Stressful. Well, now every time.
What's yours, you
so
fucking
now when you're
Brit?
like, I'm stressed.
You fucking foreign jackass, what's yours?
Now when you're like, I'm stressed, you just give it like, I'm just beaten face over here.
Good God.
Well, that's how you relieve stress.
Yeah.
I hate you people.
That is.
Why have I agreed?
What do you mean, you people?
I mean, you fucking specific, you two people.
Terry?
Anyways, Terry, what's yours?
What you got?
Probably Tiamat.
Just because you read Rise of Tiamat?
Well, also I think that like, and you may be shocked to hear this, I feel like low key, I probably would be the person that like volunteers to follow Voldemort or Tiamat anyway. I'd be like, there'd be like lots of like,
Dark
like,
Lord,
there'd
but
be like
is he?
rebellion and stuff, but I'd be the back going, she does raise some good points though. It's worth the conversation.
She's got a good plan for education.
Then no plan.
What Tiamat's plan for the city infrastructure is actually pretty good.
God damn. It's funny because you're a half-elf. I would assume you would have said Lolth.
No, not interested in any of that.
Or Corwin Lorethian, or...
No, specifically Lolth. He sides evil. Terry swings evil.
I do.
And also a little to
evil.
the left.
I do swing evil. And yeah.
Most righties do.
All right, so...
Is that true?
Is it? Hold on. I'm trying to think of all the dicks I know. Okay.
See too many dicks in my life. For my
Oh, we lost
Do you
Dan.
remember in the 90s when like communal showers were like a big thing? Like in pools and stuff like that?
Are they not anymore? That is one of the reasons why I don't
No,
go
man,
to the
you
gym.
can't go get your dick out in public. But then, here's the thing, right? The law was always, hey,
Is that because we don't have YMCAs anymore?
I don't know. But maybe.
They're still big in the States.
The law was like, you can't just get your dick out in public. Understandable law. But then there was no clear area of where that law sort of ended. It just, people were just kind of doing it.
Now they only do it in churches.
So is this cold open just going to be talking about dicks?
Well,
when we're supposed to be
look,
talking
man,
about
you
druids?
brought it up.
Well, yeah.
I did not
You
bring
started
it up.
talking about beating face.
Hold
I
on.
don't know what that
Speaking
means.
of going all natural, let's get into druids.
Oh, yes!
See, it's all worth it, Dan.
Hit
Roll the funky music, white man.
You've changed it.
I know, he's a man now.
Okay.
He grew up.
Welcome to It's a Mimic with your DMs, Adam, Dan, and Terry.
So the music's done. shall we get this over with so I can go
Dan,
weep in
is
a
this
corner?
not how you imagined your podcast would be?
It's just like we started, what god do you think you'd follow? And we ended up talking about dicks for 5
Who's the
minutes.
DM? Oh, it's Adam. I was like, who's the DM for this?
Yeah, who's responsible for
I'm
these
I'm just letting this go because the very first sentence of the Druid entering the PHP starts with
Holding high a gnarled staff.
Thank you, Dan. Wreathed with holly. That's her name.
Okay.
All right.
That's
So
my sister's name, so fuck off.
you have a sister?
Her name is Holly.
Wow. All right.
She like outdoorsy guys?
No, she's very much not outdoors.
So, all right. First and foremost, the thing that I want to get out of the way for Druids, honestly, because remember, this is Dungeons and Dragons.
Is that what we're talking about?
It is now.
Okay.
The thing I want to get out of the way for Druids is the stereotypical hippy-dippy tree-hugging bullshit. That's true, I really feel, of older editions. 5th Ed has kind of leaned away from that. We got a lot of options, and it's never occurred to me to play a Druid until this edition. I'm really excited about some of the options and the opportunities. I still don't give a crap about your fucking werewolf shit. And I never will. I don't care about your wild shape. It just seems bullshit to me. Especially when I got polymorph over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but I like a lot of their spell casting and a lot of the flavor of a druid now. They're big on, and it's even one of the headers of the in the player's handbook is preserve the balance. They're big on preserving nature. They're all about nature, but remember, nature's wild. Nature's also bogs and swamps. Nature's also thorns and shadow and lava.
Yeah, just as much as it is rolling hills and sunshine and majestic forests. And
yeah, I really feel like 3.5 was all about elves and halflings tending their gardens. That's not what we're doing anymore, right? Dryads are scary in 5th Ed. Their lore is scary. Nature seems to be running a little bit more amok, and you can see it as it crosses over into a lot of the other classes as well. There's subclasses. A lot of stuff about nature. There's a lot of stuff about things that are natural. A lot of stuff about the ancients, right? Ancient spirits and ancestral guardians, and there's a lot of that. And I feel like a lot of it comes from the idea of the druid, their power base. So, and I realize now that I should have said it in the open that the god I would have been I should have chosen Mother Nature. That's a great god for a druid.
oh yeah,
There are some D&D nature gods, but I mean that's something that anyone can really grasp hold on. So let's break into it pretty quickly. You get your standard 1d8 hit points, right, for druid level, and you get light armor, medium armor, shields. Interestingly, and this is another holdover from previous editions, no metal.
Not metal.
And they don't really get into it. They don't explain it too much, but I've seen it explained in previous editions. The reason they say no metal, for those of you who are confused, is because it is about what's natural, not wrought iron, not forged steel. There can be things like ore that has worked its way through a mountain, or deposits of iron and whatnot, which are natural. But the moment that you are starting to hammer it and change it, it's the same as cutting down a tree.
yep.
And building a house with it.
Now, my problem is, in previous editions, that requirement, why am I forgetting my words? That thing was held over onto weapons as well. It's not held over to weapons for 5th edition. You could be absolutely carried, covered and harried by scimitars and sickles and daggers, and you could be covered head to toe in bladed metal weapons, but just make sure you're wearing an animal skin instead. It seems kind of weird that it's not held over to every aspect of the druid. And this is the only part in the entire druid where this is mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, I agree with you. I think it's a little strange. I myself would be looking to make a scimitar out of onyx with an onyx blade.
Yeah.
Or
using a dense stone or
a dense stone or petrified wood
Yep.
for a mace, something like that. And if we can make imaginary freaking metals like mithril, why are we not making special iron wood or other different kinds of plants and flowers and stuff that might as well be metal, but aren't?
Yeah.
So if you're going to be a druid, I feel like druids are going to be naturally more creative because they've got a couple of weird restrictions to them. And they've got a lot of options that nobody else gets. They also get an herbalism kit. Does anyone care?
no.
So
Sometimes these kits, I'm not entirely sure what they do. You know, like the healing kit compared to the herbalism kit. I know it's written in there, but it's like, who's looking? You know, in the moment.
This is one of those things that I think everybody is forgetting about. This has fallen by the wayside. The idea of kits and tools. When people think tools, they think of
Thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools.
That's pretty much where it ends.
And like the odd instruments.
Hammers.
Yeah, hammers, tinkerers' tools, herbalism kits. There are a lot of kits listed, and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess there's a forgery kit. Who cares? We have a disguise kit, but I also have disguise self, or someone in the party does.
Yeah.
Well,
And some of them, honestly, like, because if I was DM and, like, a rogue may not have a forgery kit, or a bard maybe even, if they were like, I'm going to try and forge a signature or forge this letter, I'd probably just go, okay, roll your sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think I'd ask for the kit. You know?
Yeah. So, anyway, their saving throws are intelligence to wisdom. It's weird that it's intelligence to me, right? And I guess I'm thinking it's because of the nature.
Nature.
Yeah.
However, shouldn't it be charisma? Shouldn't it be for your handle animal
Yep.
and your intimidate, especially when you're...
Yeah, but at the same time, like, druids are very...
It's the knowledge of nature, I think.
But remember,
Yeah.
this is your saving throw as well. How many intelligence saving throws are you doing?
Yeah.
You're doing some. Your intellect devours, for example. But that's not much. Why does a druid get advantage on that?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
No.
So anyway, thought I'd throw that out.
I think they're just getting away from charisma because a lot of
everything-
druids are like, they're hermits. They're removed from society. They're like, they are by their flavor kind of painted as a little awkward. So they pull away from that. And either awkward as in they are shy, or awkward as in they don't know how to handle people, or awkward as in they are like
I couldn't meet a druid.
Kalima.
It'd
Like,
drive me mad.
oh yeah,
I just couldn't handle it.
But
Talk to me like a human being.
I don't know. It just seems a weird saving throw to get.
yep.
Wouldn't you have gone with Constitution for all the poison shit?
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, you know what? The
So
amount of
many other
mushrooms
things
and
in the-
berries and shit.
So many other things in the book get Constitution. I really like the intelligence and wisdom for these guys.
I don't know. It seems a little thematically off. I guess it depends on which subclass you go with, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Your skills, Arcana, interesting. Animal handling, Insight, well, there's my charisma again. Medicine, there's your herbalism. Nature, perception, religion, and survival. Even religion feels strange to me. I know you're a divine caster. You probably never went to church. But now we're going to start to talk about Druid Circles here pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And this is going to take place of a temple. It's a little bit more freeform, a little bit more open. And so religion can very much be a factor, but it's different than a cleric or a paladin. And so, anyway, I just wanted to kind of point out that their skills are a little scattered.
Yeah.
Right? I'd probably be looking into my backgrounds to fill out some things like stealth for a druid moving through the woods.
They don't get either acrobatics or athletics.
No, they don't. I mean, the cleric didn't either, which you'd think they'd get athletics.
Yep.
But, I mean, I don't know. The skills are a little bit strange in 5th Ed to me. There are ones like gather information that I missed from 3.5, and there's stuff that... I'm not so much missing use magic device, but why is concentration not considered a skill?
Yeah.
Right? It's still mentioned, it's still a factor, but it's not in your character sheet. It's just odd to me.
Yep.
Anyway, your basic equipment is leather and wood, or scimitar, or your basic things. You get your druidic focus, works essentially as a holy symbol, or a component pouch, where you still need to have these items, but you're not casting with them. You're holding it up, and you're using of your free hand to do it. Here's another issue that I have, that I had with cleric as well, where you need 3 hands to be functioning as this class, because you're using your bonus, or not your bonus, your interaction to stow a weapon or to draw a weapon over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It seems a little, and you don't have it on your shield with a druid. I mean, you can, but it's not built into it like it is with a cleric. Anyway, you know, druidic. This is my favorite thing about druids, is actually the secret language. All druids inherently know it. Sure, I'll magically hand wave that. That's great. But I love that you can leave secret messages. And I have 2 trains of thought on this for the secret messages you can leave in druidic. First and foremost is, you guys, I'm thinking like a Where's Waldo. Like, it's very obviously there's what you're looking for in there, but not everyone can see it right away.
Yeah.
So it's hidden with a high enough perception check. Anyone else can see that it's there, but they can't read it. But most people can't see it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's pretty cool. I really like the idea of Blair Witch putting all those totems up. Those are the messages that I would do for Druidic. Right? I would have little piles of rocks.
Yeah, their totems are like these markers that are very almost supernatural in nature that would just creep the hell out of you. Like, I like the Blair Witch. Like, I always think of like little stick man thing.
I like the idea of there are 3 rocks that are stacked over in the corner. Nobody sees that.
You just wake up and they're next to you.
They're not obviously there at first glance, but a druid knows that those 3 different kinds of moss that are on the rocks means that the spring is going to be longer this year, or whatever it is, whatever message that they're leaving. So I think that like the solstice is going to be particularly magical, or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. There's some really cool things you can do with these messages.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think DMs lean into that enough. Spell casting is essentially the same as the clerics, right? You're wisdom based. You can change it up after, or you get all your spell slots after a long rest.
I wanted to bring out real quick, Druid cantrips are the best cantrips in the game.
Yeah, hands down.
I freaking love them. Shillelagh is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, as a cantrip, that I mentioned it before in the Bard episode where I had a character who could cast Shillelagh. And he used it to turn his lute, or viola, into a club if things got too close. And then it lets you use your spellcasting modifier as both your attack and damage ability modifier.
Nice.
Right? And so you, as a wizard-based spellcaster, are now attacking with your wisdom on a melee thing as well, on a cantrip. So you can do this as often as you want, right? Like, it's just druid craft itself, like being able to spawn little flowers and stuff. Like, these are the guys who are sitting there going like, oh, look at the sad child, I am Groot, here's the little flower for you.
Yeah. Oh, we were just talking about speaking Druidic, leaving messages, that's what your Druid craft's for as well. Yeah. You can carve that message essentially and leave it. Yeah.
But these guys are also the ones that get mold earth and shape water. And
some wizards get it too.
Some wizards get it as well? Okay. Well, still, like, those have very druidic flavors to them.
Yeah.
And they are the most powerful cantrips in the game, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the other thing, you can change your spell list all the time, right? After a long rest. You're not beholden to the ones that you have. You're a ritual caster. Makes a lot of sense when you think about the circle that you're a part of. And your spellcasting focus, which I mentioned before, is your druidic totem.
You just read the words wild shape.
I did, and I hate it. I just hate wild shape through and through.
It's so interesting to me.
I like wild shape.
That's
the thing that draws me to druids the most.
Yeah, when I think of druids, I think wild shape.
Yeah.
I think wild shape before spells.
Yeah.
Most people do, and I think that's why I didn't like them at first. For previous editions, is because it's all about, hey, look at me, I'm a wolf. Hey, look at me, I'm a tiger. Hey, look at me, I'm an eagle. Hey, look at me, I'm a rat. Okay, congratulations. Can you do something that isn't just being a furry? Like, fuck. Fuck. That's what I got.
Well, that's what furries do, so.
Thanks, Terry.
So I've been told.
Yif.
I think it's pronounced GIF.
Love it.
Nice.
Well done.
I could give that one to you.
So, starting at second level, you can use your action to magically assume a shape of a beast. You do have to use an action for this, which means that your first turn is garbage. This is fantastic. You can use this feature twice.
You read that as though you were reading from the book. I was looking at my page going, there's no way it says, which means your first turn is garbage.
Your druid level determines the beast you can transform into. It goes all the way up to maximum CR of 1 when you are at 8th level. Remember, it's beast, not creature. You don't get your aberrations. You don't get your monstrosities. There are some ways that you can do it depending on your circle.
Later on, I think, right?
Only depending on your circle.
Yeah, Circle of the Moon are the ones where you could get to be elementals, where you could get to be,
All right, here's the other thing that you got to pay attention to as well. And here's my other problem is, your druid has the monster manual in his hand, and that pisses me off. Because they have to be able to have all of the creature stats, what's available to them. And so they're flipping around all the time. That just annoys me in the first place. I get that the wizard has to do it for some spells.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's beasts. So, like, you're flipping to the back of the book where all the standard beasts are, right?
And that's what I mean.
Like, if your druid wants to learn the stats of a baboon,
right?
Whatever.
No, that's not my problem. My problem is roll initiative. Hold on. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Does anyone have Volos?
Yeah.
All right, look. If you are a druid, you have homework to do. And most druids, I find, the ones that I've encountered, haven't done the homework.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where my problem comes from. Here's the other thing about a druid that I feel is just like a little overpowered for the wild shape, is this... first of all, you can stay in as a beast for the number of hours equal to half your druid level. Fine. You can revert to your normal form by using a bonus action. Fine. If you drop to 0 hit points...
You just return back to yourself.
You return, but okay, Terry, if you have 2 hit points as a wolf, and I hit you for 8, you revert back to your normal self, and you take those 2 as your wolf, and then you take the 6 as yourself.
Right.
So, does it not make more sense to you, or for you to be monitoring your own hit points that are left all the time? And because most beasts are CR1 and lower, you're always managing your 13 hit points over and over and over again. And, oh God, I got hit by a goblin arrow. Somebody heal me up really quickly because my eagle is going to die soon.
Yeah.
This feels useless to me, right? And you're just getting temporary hit points for some stats that or a skill maybe.
You're getting temporary hit points for a temporary stat increase that might involve some movement. Like,
depends how you're
it's
using
more
your wild
utility,
shape.
but you also cannot cast spells unless you're 18th level.
I think at lower levels, I don't know if you're using wild shape as much for combat, but maybe more for some exploration.
I get it for exploration. It's the people that are jumping into Tiger, right, real early, and then stick with it all the way through. And it's just not powerful enough for me to want to do it at high levels. It's overpowered at some points for low levels. I'm not digging it. It's not what I would want to play.
But then you're right. It soon switches to overpowered because when you get to the point where you can turn into a dragon, then you have.
But you never can because that's dragon type. This is beasts only.
No, there's a way you can.
Well, okay, when you get into the circle of the moon, right?
Yeah,
but
that's what I mean. But then you have that full block of hit points, and then your own.
Yeah,
you're 2 players back to back, really.
And that's one of the things that I don't like about it, right? Anyway, your game statistics are replaced by the statistics of the beast, but you retain your alignment, personality, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores.
Yep.
All other game stats turn into...
you also retain your skill and saving throw proficiencies.
Yep.
Yeah. In addition to gaining those of the creature. So over and above.
As a wolf, I'm still proficient in sleight of hand?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's the proficiencies, right?
As a wolf, you're still proficient in medicine.
But you're not keeping the stats. You just are still proficient with these. So now, that person that just looked up baboon for the first time is doing a whole shit ton of math that I don't want them doing at the table. Do your math ahead of time and bring the stats to the table. It just pisses me off as a DM. And as a player, I would feel overwhelmed all the time.
Yeah, I would as well. Because there's so many different things going on where you're going to be choosing different creatures for some stuff. You're going to get to a point where you just couldn't predict something, and you're just not going to be prepped for it.
Yeah, you can't cast spells.
But you can maintain concentration.
Yep. You retain the benefit of any features from your class, race, or other source. You can use them in the new form as long as it's physically capable of doing it. One of the things that I really like is you choose whether your equipment falls to the ground in your space, merges into your new form, or is worn by it. Mm-hmm. If it merges in, you don't get that armor AC anymore. It is just merged into your form and you're storing it essentially in an extra dimensional space. Mm-hmm. But you can choose whether or not to drop your sword on the ground for someone else to pick up, or you as the baboon are still going to wear the leather armor. Right? Which I think is a lot of fun.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I think it is.
And it's you choose in the moment as well. Like, it's not will be a long-term thing.
Yeah. So your equipment doesn't change size or shape to match the new form, so you have to physically be able to wear it. It has to make sense.
Yeah, giant crocodile can't wear your leather armor.
Yeah, exactly. You get a Druidic Circle at level 2. You get your ability score improvements, standard, 4th, 8th, 12th, 16th, and 19th. At 18th level, so you see there's a jump. So this is all based on your circle from
Yeah.
there, right? So
More based on circle than it is based off of like a cleric based off domain, which is still massive.
yeah. Timeless body at 18th level. You age slower at 1/10
That's
speed.
a weird one.
Who gives a fuck?
Gives a fuck.
Like, really? Is this what we're giving at 18th level as the nighest? All right, you know what?
You know how many months go by for like a week of D&D gameplay
Yeah.
anyway? Like, who gives a shit?
No,
That is purely
So you
in
could
there
play-
for an NPC.
You could play the same campaign for 10 years and your character just ages you. Now you're 36. No one cares.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You're right, Dan. That's in there for an NPC. Or when you have created your character early on, and I've seen this where I was a level 20 wizard who has been depowered to level 1.
Yeah.
I've seen that a handful of times. You can do that with a druid and be like, and that's why I'm an elf that's 9 cajillion years
I'm
old.
now 20,000 years old.
And again, nobody cares but you.
Yeah.
This is just a weird addition to add in, and you will forget by the first time you roll initiative.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, what does this person have anything to do killing a horde of goblins?
yeah. Well, you had like an extended lifespan built into one of your previous characters,
Yeah.
and it was something that you used for flavor all the time, but had no impact upon the
No.
mechanics of. And so it was neat, but at some point you're like, oh, I pull out my stool and I sit down, and we're like, yes, Dan, we know. All right, so what does the barkeeper say? Right? So beginning at 18th level, you can cast.
Rezu.
I miss him too, actually. It was a lot of fun.
Fuck Rezu.
I've just made Terry angry.
Beginning at 18th level. So here's the other thing you get. Because Timeless Body is so shit, you get 2 things as a druid. You can cast many of your druid spells in any shape you assume using wild shape. You can perform the somatic and verbal components of a druid spell. But you aren't able to provide material components. Why? Why can you... I get the giant crocodile can't produce, like, a pinch of ash.
Yeah, but if you're a baboon that chooses to wear the component pouch on the outside...
Right, yeah, exactly. Or
A
even...
raccoon.
A raccoon, even like the talons of an eagle reaching down and picking it up. And, like, it's so bizarre. And yet, your ant can speak. But only to cast. Like, because this is built in. You can't speak real words. You can just speak your magic words.
Yeah.
That's so weird to me. And the Archdruid is you can wild shape an unlimited number of times. Oh, good, we get more. So, like, I'm already annoyed with the base Druid because as a base, it's garbage pants to me. Now, Dan, you jumped the gun a little bit. I wanted to roll initiative on something real
No,
quick.
that's it. That's all we need to hear about Druids. That'll be the end of the episode. And we'll see you next time.
I'm going to read off from the list of... I did this at the end for the clerics of all of the spells that are cleric only. I'm going to read off the list of the druid only spells. And I want you guys, we're going to roll initiative. Everybody think about which one they really freaking like.
Okay. Shillelagh.
I got a 6. I'm telling you, man, I'm essentially
I got 15. I won.
All right, so I'm going to go through them all. You're picking a cantrip that's...
Do I stop
that's
you when I get to one that I like?
No, hold on to it.
I was going to stop
do them
you,
all.
Shillelagh.
So, wait until I get to the end. So, this is out of the Player's Handbook and Xanathar's, and I think the Summit of Elemental Evil as well.
Okay.
Here we go. Druidcraft, Primal Savagery, Produce Flame, Shillelagh, Thorn Whip, Entangle, Flame Blade, Moonbeam, Call Lightning, Giant Insect, Anti-Life Shell, Maelstrom, Reincarnate, Bones of the Earth, Druid Grove, Primordial Ward, Transport via Plants, Wall of Thorns, Windwalk, Animal Shapes, Tsunami, and Storm of Vengeance. Terry, you're first. Which one, like...
Druidcraft.
Druidcraft?
Just joking, because that's the first one you said. It's like when you get the server to read the entire list of the taps. The first one.
And what are your sauces?
Yeah, fuck, exactly. Me. Do you know what? I really like Primal Savagery.
Yeah?
But I got Primal Savagery through my Arcane Trickster somehow. I can't remember how.
Because you're a bard and you get to choose from other...
yeah, well, rogue. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember how I got Primal Savagery. Maybe it's just it is available to Arcane Trickster somehow. So I've experienced with that spell is my point, and I really liked it because there was times in our campaign where for whatever reason our weapons were gone and we were out on our own, and it was I think it's just a verbal spell, or maybe it's just
I
semantic.
don't have that in front of me, no.
And so I could always whack out Primal Savagery, and I think it's maybe 2 or 3 D10, and it's acid damage as well. It's not slashing damage.
Yeah.
So essentially, you just become Sabretooth for a round. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a cantrip, I think, as well, right?
It
It is, yeah. Which is
I really like Shillelagh.
I know, but was there another one?
Yes, there is. I like the last one you did, Storm of Vengeance.
Yeah, Storm of Vengeance.
If there is ever I am going to wreak unholy havoc. God damn it, Terry!
Do you see me try to get away?
Yeah.
Let's see it again.
Okay, Terry's left. These are your uncles, Dan and Adam. We have some tips about how to not be on social media.
Here's a hint. Erase it from all your phones, get a flip phone, and live in the real world.
Go outside, become a druid.
Hi, Terry.
Yeah.
Hi, Terry.
Here's some Tinder tips for you.
No, oh God.
All right,
Once
so
he's done the Tinder tips, he starts talking Grindr.
Find me on Tinder.
Storm of Vengeance, and go.
Yeah, no, if there ever is a spell that just says, look at the amount of raw power I contain, it is Storm of Vengeance. It is just summoning this massive storm, if I'm getting it right. Summoning the massive storm to rain hail and lightning and all this stuff down. It's just, it is the biggest cock measuring contest ever, and the druid wins for this big spell.
Well, that's because you wild shaped into one. Or yeah, rooster. That's
Yeah,
yes.
I'm with you.
Okay.
So I like it. The raw power of nature is on full display in that spell, and it's just
Well, it's a ninth level too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Okay. Here's my favorite because it's the only thing that I've seen that actually does this. I've said in the past that I don't like a lot of the bestow curse and remove curse stuff,
Right?
especially when it comes to lycanthropy. Because to me, while it's traditionally the curse of the werewolf, you shouldn't be able to just remove that as like a third level spell or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like it just seems too easy. And yet, second level evocation is a moonbeam. So 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. Moonlight comes in, it's engulfed in ghostly flames if a creature enters the spell area. Blah, 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 standard fare. 2d10 radiant damage. But a shape changer makes its saving throw with disadvantage. If it fails, it also instantly reverts to its original form and can't assume a different form until it leaves the spell's light. This is how you deal with werewolves and were-boars and were-bears and everything else.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing that is anything like that in the player's handbook. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was a really cool way to do it. And also, it's one of these ones that scales. Third level or higher, damage increases by 1d10. So you also can move the moonbeam as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
So it's a lot of fun. Like I thought that was a really good way to, or a good addition to the druids specifically. So let's cut to commercial before we move on to our circles.
For those suffering from lycanthropy. No?
I like it.
This episode is brought to you by wildbot3d.com. Condition markers, spell trackers, AoE templates, scatter terrain, and much more. Proudly made in Georgia and personally packaged and shipped worldwide. That's Wildbot3D, your home for quality 3D printed tabletop gaming accessories and terrain. Visit wildbot3d.com to purchase your new favorite accessories today. Wildbot3d.com. Wildbot.
Welcome back. Let's get into the Druid Circles. We've each got one. Let's roll initiative and see who goes first.
14.
7.
Well, I mean, it's not last. I'll take it.
Okay.
So Adam hates wild shape. So when we were discussing who's going to take what circle, Adam was like, "I'll take whatever, just not Circle of the Moon." I freaking love Circle of the Moon.
I like Circle of the
You
Moon
would.
as well.
It's an animalistic version of a barbarian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's actually a build that involves Circle of the Moon Barbarians and Totem Warrior Barbarians and Circle of the Moon Druids. I've built one. They're just a mountain of hit points, and you cannot kill them. They're fantastic.
Also, I'm bored.
Yeah.
By like 7th session, I don't want to play this anymore. You're a bear. I don't give a shit.
Well, no, you get to choose many different... There's a lot of beasts. Like, yeah, there's limitations. And as you get through Circle of the Moon, those limitations are significantly lessened for Circle of the Moon Druid for his wild shape. You get more options. You get more powerful options. And the things you could do within those options are just mind-boggling. Add on a couple levels of Barbarian and Totem Warrior. You're golden. So, anyways... Circle of the Moon is your shape changer. They are your Veg lycanthropes. They are your howl at the moon druids. These are your crazy folks living in the jungle. They are fierce. It says in the book here, fierce guardians of the wild. They are using this ability to bestially change their nature to protect nature, and I find that really, really cool and really. This is the one kind of druid I would play. I don't like the other kinds because I get a lot of that tree huggy feel. This one I don't. This one is purely based off the wild shape.
No, you can do this with the Barbarian.
You could do this with this as well and have that the flavor of like the true font of nature's power being thrown at it.
Yeah, all right.
Right?
Adam's so unimpressed.
He's so unimpressed.
I love... We have to talk about this because we have to go through our Druid episode, but all the time we knew that Adam was going to be so unimpressed. Like, for just an hour, we're just going to try not to piss him
I
off.
want you to know that when we sit down to like break out who's going to be the DM on each, we all pick like our 12 classes, we divided it by 3, and I let you two choose first.
Yeah.
And you slaughtered me with Cleric and Druid?
Yeah.
God damn it, guys.
We didn't make you do Circle of the Moon for Druid. You're welcome. You're going to do the other ones.
Uh-huh. Talk your stupid shit, Dan.
Talk your stupid shit.
Okay, so...
Tell us how turning into a butterfly is important, Dan.
At second level... Wow. It immediately changes your wild shape. You get combat wild shape, which means your wild shape, you could use it as a bonus action rather than an action, which means you can still do stuff for your first round of combat. Your first round's no longer garbage. But on top of that, while you're transforming your wild shape, as a bonus action on subsequent turns, you can expend one spell slot to regain subsequent whatever. You can try to do a thing. Yep. You can use a bonus action to expend one. Fuck off.
They're just words, Dan. They can't hurt
us. You could use a bonus action to expel one spell slot to regain 1d8 hit points per level of the spell slot expended. So you can heal yourself up while you're in this form as a bonus action. And because you're not really casting a lot of spells within your beast form, and this is so focused on your beast form, this is basically what you're making your spells slots for now. This is what you're reserving them for. It's like a paladin. You're not really using your spell slots as a paladin. You're more using them for smites. It's kind of the same concept. You're just using them for bonus action heals. Next you get, also starting at second level, you get your circle forms, which is where you could transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as 1 at second level. When you hit 6th level, you could transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as your druid level divided by 3 rounded down. This means at level 20, you could be a CR6,
yeah.
Right? Which really opens it up. We're talking like some of your dinosaurs you're able to change into here, right? And just absolutely wreck face. At 6th level, you get your all of your attacks when you're within your beast form are magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks. This is incredibly necessary, especially for 6th level. Your tiger is going to stop being effective after a while if his claws are still mundane. So, at 10th level, you get one of my favorite features of this is you get your elemental shape, which means you could turn into a CR6 elemental form, which is a air, fire, earth, water, typical elementals.
You can't do that at 6th level.
No,
you can
at
do 10th. Level 2.
10th, you could do a CR3. CR3, yeah. But by level 20, you're hitting a CR6, right?
Yep.
At 14th level, you get the ability to cast alter self on yourself at will. I think that fits thematically. It seems kind of bland, but you get alter self for free whenever you want. And that is the entirety of the Circle of the Moon.
Can you be a hybrid? Do you have to be a human or a wolf? Can you be a wolf human?
No, because it's not lycanthropy. And that's the thing that is... It's heavily flavored to be lycanthropy, but is not the curse of lycanthropy. Hybrid does not exist.
This would be the subclass that would have it, though.
This would be the subclass that would have it. It doesn't.
Weird. I don't know. Yeah, all right.
I mean, you can flavor your alter self in such a way to give yourself that. Like, alter self kind of has that flavor to it. Like, you can, I want to give myself beast claws. Like, you can enforce that hybrid, but you don't get that until 14th level.
Mechanically, you're not having a claw attack, though. You just look more bestial, right?
I think you can actually give yourself a claw attack with alter self. I'll look it up.
Oh, I'm going to give myself a claw attack. We don't get through these druids.
You're with me on this, Terry?
Fuck druids. I'm really selling this podcast.
All right, look.
All right, who's next?
All right, I am, and I'm going to fix the problem that everyone's having with druids right now.
Thank God for you, Adam.
All right, so you're welcome, Terry. You're welcome. I'm taking my cleric character, and she's like, "You're welcome." So
I hate him.
You can give yourself a claw attack with alter self.
Do you get a bite or a tail?
You
or
grow
else?
claws, fangs, spines, horns, or a different natural weapon of your choice. Your unarmed strikes deal 1d6 bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage as appropriate to the natural weapon you choose. And you are proficient with your unarmed strike. Finally, the natural weapon is magic, and you have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls you will make using it.
Sure. Okay. Can you cast it on yourself while you are in animal form?
Yes. At that level, you will be.
Can you be a... Yeah, okay. So you can be a dog and give yourself horns.
Yeah.
You can be a horn dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sure. Here's my problem with druids is I feel like you never have access to the entire class at any given time. It always feels like you're not given enough, but sometimes you get more. Hold on. Wasn't there something about you being able to be other kinds of creatures besides beasts?
Nope.
No. Just straight no. You can never be anything but a beast.
I'll double check that.
Let's double check it.
I feel like there was a thing at some point, but I don't know. Maybe it's a different circle.
Transform into a beast with the challenge rating as high as 1. At 6th level, you could transform into a beast with the challenge rating as high as your druid level is 3 rounded down.
In previous editions...
The only thing you could change into that is not a beast is an elemental.
Huh.
In previous editions, you could be elemental, dragon, fae.
But at the same time, by the time you're getting like elemental form, you're also getting like dragon form spells, like aspect of the dragon. You're getting, which I'm not even sure is a spell in 5th edition.
Yeah, why don't you look that up before you start spewing that nonsense?
But no,
you gotta stop getting
polymorph, true polymorph. You could cast these things on yourself, right? Like,
oh my god,
right? But I mean, why would you? Like, I'm just
to be a dragon.
Sure, but why don't you be a wizard until you're a dragon? Right? I don't know. There's nothing inherently awesome about being a druid that sticks out to me, especially the wild shape aspect. Now, when I start to think about it, I want the flavor that I'm looking for is about the circles, right? One of the things that 5th Ed did, which really kind of blew my mind, was it gave us the phrase monastic traditions for the monk. And I stopped and I went, oh yeah, shit, these are monks. Mm-hmm. These are actual, like, Tibetan monks. These are not just flurry of blows monkeys, right? Like, which is what they were in previous editions. Yeah. There was nothing monk-like about them. It was buried in the flavor text that everyone ignored and they just played mechanically. When we're dealing with druidcraft and druidic as a language and whatnot, the concept of the monastic traditions started making me think about druidic traditions. And now I'm thinking about Celts. And I think I brought this up in the Meet the DMs episode, where I'm thinking about the people around Stonehenge. I'm thinking about the... if you want to play a witch, you're playing a druid. You're not playing a warlock unless you're making a pact with a devil, right? But if you want to just be a nature witch, if you want to be...
like a hag.
Yeah, like druid is the way to do this. There's a lot of evil inherently built in to being a druid. And you technically are casting divine spells, so you can get weird, like primordial gods that you can get your divine favor from. And this is where I think druids become more interesting, and that's why I like Circle of the Land, because if you're on your home turf, this is as close as you get to getting like layer actions or regional effects, right? So you don't actually get those. And as a druid, even when you wild shape, you don't get legendary or lair or regional effects, even if you would otherwise. It says right in the text. Mm-hmm. So, but here's what I like about the Druid Circles. I'm going to go through this real quick. Circle of the Land. That's the one that I took. First and foremost, I'm going to hit all the spells, and then I'm going to go through it. So, guys, get comfortable. There's a lot here.
Okay.
For Arctic, and we don't think about this enough, you can be a Circle of the Land, an Arctic Druid. Think of almost like the White Walkers.
Yep.
You get Hold Person, Spike Growth, which is cool because I don't think actual like thorns. A lot of people do. I'm thinking icicles. Sleet Storm, Slow, Freedom of Movement, Ice Storm, Commune with Nature, and Cone of Cold. Coast. So this is where you're going to get your pirate campaigns, and this is as close as you get to aquatic as well. You get Mirror Image, Misty Step, always useful. Water Breathing, Water Walk, Control Water, Freedom of Movement, Conjure Elemental, and Scrying. You have defeated a lot of the shit the DM is just putting your way for an aquatic or a pirate campaign. Oh, you fell off the boat? Doesn't matter. You got Water Breathing and Water Walk and Control Water. Desert, you have Blur, Silence, Create Food and Water, which is useful. Protection from Energy, Blight, which is one of my favorites. Hallucinatory Terrain, Insect Plague, which is always fun thematically, and Wall of Stone. Forest gets Bark Skin, Spider Climb, Call Lightning, Plant Growth, Divination, which is kind of weird for Forest, but, I mean, why not?
Reading runes and shit, maybe.
Yeah. Freedom of Movement, Commune with Nature, and Tree Stride. Tree Stride is one of my favorite spells.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that was really neat, Terry. That's the one where you become a part of the tree over here and step out of the tree over there.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's got a really cool... I always think of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Because it's tree portals. That's just me. Grassland, Invisibility. Holy shit. Right? You just... No invisibility. Pass Without Trace, Daylight, Haste, again, holy shit. Divination, Freedom of Movement, Dream, and Insect Plague. Mountain is... This is going to be your volcano as well.
Yep.
Spider Climb, Spike Growth, Lightning Bolt, Meld into Stone, Stone Shape, Stone Skin, Pass Wall, and Wall of Stone. So, we got a theme
Rocks.
on that one. Yeah, rocks and shit. If you're going to be a Goliath Druid, that one...
Your mountain.
That one makes
Your mountain
sense, right?
circle, yeah.
Swamp is Darkness, Melf's Acid Arrow, which is kind of neat. I would probably take the arrow off of it and just be like Energy Blast of Acid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Water Walk, Stinking Cloud, Freedom of Movement, Locate Creature, Insect Plague, and Scrying. And then Underdark. Spider Climb and Web. Cool.
Yeah.
Gaseous Form, Stinking Cloud. Also cool. All right. I'm into it so far. Greater Invisibility. Stone Shape. You're doing Greater Invisibility at 7th level. Right? Yeah.
Wow.
Cloud Kill and
That's
Insect
OP.
Plague. Right? So Circle of Land is why I like Druids. Because it's very flavored in the direction of where you are matters. And as a DM, I got to keep that in mind for whatever the player is playing this, is I can't take them out of their element too often. Yeah. What do you do with caves and dungeons and urban? Time to think about that. I mean, you'll still get these spells, but I would flavor it to be like you have a yearning to get back to your homeland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's not even the abilities they get. That's just the spells. So here's what they get. Bonus cantrip at 2nd level. So now you're getting as many cantrips as a full caster. Mm-hmm. Your wizard or your cleric. Natural recovery, starting at 2nd level, you regain some of your magical energy by sitting in meditation and communing with nature. So, the spell slots, during short rest, you choose how many expended spell slots to recover. The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your druid level rounded up. It's one of the only times we see rounded up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And none of the slots can be 6th level or higher. So, for example, if you are a level 12 druid, you can get 3 level 4, 2 level 6, 12 level 1s, a level...
No, it's half your caster level, isn't it?
Oh, sorry.
Half your
Yeah.
level? Yeah.
So,
You get 1 level 6,
yeah.
1 level 5, and a
yeah,
level 1.
And a level 1. You could do 3 level 2s. Like, there's really no limit to this, so that's a lot of fun. Circle spells are the ones that I just read out. You get them at 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th level, 2 apiece. And I'm not done yet. So, you also get Land Stride. Starting at 6th level, you can move through non-magical difficult terrain.
Jeez.
6th level, yeah. Nature's Ward. Also you don't take damage from thorns or spines or other things like that. So, terrain level damage. You also have advantage on saving throws against plants that are magically created. That includes the Entangle spell. You have advantage against Entangle.
Holy jeez.
Yep. Nature's Ward. When you reach 10th level, you can't be charmed or frightened by elementals or fae. And you are immune to poison and disease.
Holy shit.
Yep, and that's 10th
so cool.
level. And at 14th, there's still more. Creatures of the natural world sense your connection with nature and become hesitant to attack you. When a beast or plant creature attacks you, that creature must make a wisdom saving throw against your druid spell save DC. On a fail, it has to choose a different target.
Huh.
Tell me again how Wild Shape is useful at all. Right? This is a full caster, right? And it's got so many benefits of being a full caster. There's a lot of flavor to this. And Druids have always been fairly powerful comparatively, but I mean, flavor-wise, they've always kind of sucked as a tree-hugging hippie.
Yeah.
5th Ed has gone in another direction by embracing the idea of the circle, the idea that you and other like-minded individuals get together and draw magic from the land itself, from the essence of nature, of the earth, of the dirt under your feet, or the water, or the earth around you if you're in the Underdark. Like, it is so cool to think that there are a whole bunch of druids holding hands around the mouth of a volcano, praying to it and getting magic from it, right? Or that are sucking up the phase rest radiation from the Underdark, right? Or breathing deep the mists of a swamp. And they're getting inherent magic from this because they're together and they are chanting. That's the other thing. When I'm doing Circle of Land, my druidic is chanting. And I'm thinking old Latin chants, right?
Yeah.
This should be as pagan as you can get. This is your pagan spellcaster, which is odd that it's divine to me a little bit. But
I think you were right when you said like primordial gods, though. Like,
yeah, you're really tapping into that. This is an option somewhere between the Great Old One Warlock and the this is my god and his name is Joe. He says that I should hit it with a mace, right? Well, that's what a cleric gets. For a druid, the druid is far more earthly. I want a druid that knows how to shower, keeps himself clean, but his hands are always dirty with ash. He's got war paint on his face. Yeah. Right. These are where your shamans or shamans stand. Right. This is where your
shaman you.
your war your tribal war chiefs are. This is Circle of the Land to me, right? When you talk about your superstitious orcs, there should be druids.
Oh yeah,
here, right. That's their spellcaster to me. Would be sorcerer because maybe, right, and druid. So. Anyway, I'm super excited about Circle of Land, and really only a little Circle of Spores, which we'll cover in a future episode. But the rest of the wild shape nonsense is left by the wayside in this circle. You can still turn into a hawk and scout the area. Congratulations, right? There are 1,000 other ways to do shit like that in D&D. I don't feel the need to do that flavor-wise.
Yeah.
But this is cool. There are a lot of good land flavors, and you need to start thinking about adapting to things like marshlands and jungles and other things, tundras, maybe not just Arctic, but Canada. So anyway, I've talked for too long. Terry, what's yours?
Okay, here we go. Last one on Druids. I'm diving into Xanathar's. And we're going for Circle of the Shepherd. So Circle of the Shepherd, basically these druids commune with the spirits of nature, of beasts and the fae, and they call to those spirits for aid. I imagine them kind of like whispering to butterflies, and very Radagast style is how I kind of see this.
Yeah,
they don't want to be...
You said fae, which is interesting.
Yeah, they don't want to be anywhere near cities. They want to be far away from people. I feel like as I get older, I'm becoming increasingly more like this.
just more fae.
Like there was a time in my life when I was like, I want to live in downtown Vancouver, and now I'm like, fuck this. I'm going the other way where there's no people.
Yeah.
So to go through their abilities, There are, and I just triple checked. I just checked Xanathar's while you were talking there. There is no like extra spells they get. There's no like specific spells to this circle. They just go with the regular druid spells, but they do have some pretty cool abilities. So I'll go through them. Seatbelts on, people. Here we go. Second level, you get what's called Speech of the Woods, and I actually quite like this. You automatically learn to speak, read, and write Sylvan. Okay, now you can talk to mushrooms. Nice. In addition...
Hey, hummingbirds too.
And hummingbirds
With the right
too.
mushrooms, they'll talk back.
Yeah. You guys ever seen a movie called Shrooms?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
It's a British movie, but yeah, there's a scene in that where she's like, there's a cow talking to her, and she's like, am I on mushrooms? And he's like, you're talking to a fucking cow, aren't you? Anyway, internet, watch Shrooms. Good British movie. Okay, so Speech of the Woods, you can speak, read, and write Sylvan. You can also speak to beasts now. They can't speak to you, like have a conversation, but you can understand things that they have recently learned, where they've recently been, what they've recently seen, and they can put across emotions to you. It's only second level.
This is actually going to be really useful for things where like dryads and shit as well.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Also starting at second level, you gain the ability to call forth nature spirits and use them to influence the world around you. So there's 3 spirits. So you can call forth the bear spirit, and the bear spirit grants you and your allies its might and endurance. Each creature of your choice in the aura, when the spirit appears, gains temporary hit points equal to 5 plus your druid level. In addition, you and your allies gain advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws while you are in the aura.
Nice.
Everyone becomes a barbarian.
At second level, yes.
That's all right.
Or you can choose the Hawk Spirit. The Hawk Spirit is a consummate hunter, aiding you and your allies with its keen sight. When a creature makes an attack roll against the target in the spirit's makes an attack roll against the target in the spirit's area, you can use your reaction to grant advantage to that attack roll. In addition, you and your allies have advantage on wisdom perception checks while in the aura.
Cool.
So you're going to team up with a rogue on this one?
Yep. Final one, Unicorn Spirit. The Unicorn Spirit lends its protection to those nearby. You and your allies gain advantage on all ability checks made to detect creatures in the spirit's aura. In addition, if you cast a spell using a spell slot that restores hit points to any creature inside or outside the aura, each creature of your choice in the aura also regains hit points equal to your druid level.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of healing.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, I know it's like, unicorn, yay!
Yeah.
Unicorns are fucking badass in D&D, and you should look into it.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out, like, there's a lot of similarity here between the Totem Warrior Barbarian and this class. You don't have to choose
One or the other. Cross-class in. And...
Well, you could be like, today I'm going to choose the Unicorn Spirit, and then I'll sleep for an hour, and then when I wake up, I'll do the Hawk Spirit.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Barbarian, you're Bear Totem, until 6th level, and then you can be Bear Totem and then another Totem. You can't move it around.
Yeah.
So, like, it's
far more versatile.
Far more versatile.
And, that may explain why you don't have a whole lot of your own spells as well to choose from. That might be a little bit OP. So you get these cool abilities. Okay, Mighty Summoner at 6th level. Beasts and Fae that you conjure are more resilient than normal. Any beast or Fae summoned or created by a spell that you cast gains 2 benefits. The first one is the creature appears with more hit points than normal, 2 extra hit points per hit die that it has. The second one is the damage from its natural weapons is considered magical for the purpose of overcoming immunity and resistance to non-magical attacks.
Alright, hold on. You can summon this thing?
Yes.
And what's the limitation on what it can be?
Beasts and Fae.
Summoned by a spell that you cast. Yeah, so like if you're casting summon nature's ally a thing anymore?
Conjure animals or something.
Conjure animals, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Those kind of things.
Guardian Spirit, begin at 10th level. Your spirit totem safeguards the beasts and Fae that you call forth with your magic. When a beast or Fae that you summoned or created with a spell ends its turn in your spirit totem aura, the creature regains a number of hit points equal to half your druid level.
Holy shit.
So you can run out attack and run back in,
Yeah.
and get healed up.
You know what I want to do right now is I want to build a Pact of the Chain
Warlock, yeah.
Warlock and cross-class into this, right? If I'm multi-classing, every time you summon this thing, it gets beefed. You get a super familiar now.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah.
Last one. Faithful Summons, starting at 14th level. The nature spirits you commune with protect you when you are at the most defenseless. If you are reduced to 0 hit points or are incapacitated against your will, you can immediately gain the benefits of Conjure Animals. So funny we just said that. As if it were cast with a 9th level spell slot. It summons 4 beasts of your choice that are a challenge rating of 2 or lower. The conjured beasts appear within 20 feet of you. If they receive no commands from you, they protect you from harm and attack your foes. The spell lasts for 1 hour, requiring no concentration or until you dismiss it.
This is where you're getting your giant snakes and shit. Like, that's nutty.
So when you hit 0 hit points, 4 giant snakes just boof out of you and protect you.
Yeah, and you're... Okay, how many times have I taught you guys a lesson as a DM by waiting for you to hit death saves and then hitting you one more fucking time?
Yeah.
Right? So you get the auto fail. I can't do that now.
But I always agreed with you, even though you were doing it to me, of that hitting a game, because especially with those... Well, you can make arguments for lower intelligence and higher intelligence creatures. A higher intelligence creature would know to keep hitting you, but a lower intelligence creature wouldn't know to stop hitting you. An ogre is going to beat you into the ground and then just keep beating you into the ground.
My question is, are they going for the kill?
Yeah.
Right? And that's it. Like, do they understand the concept of murder and neutralizing, or are they just wiping you... Down you go when they attack the next
that's
thing?
it as well. Are they interested in neutralizing the threat, or are they trying to kill you?
Right. The mother bear protecting the cubs isn't going for the kill.
Yeah.
They're knocking you out. You're no longer a threat. On to the next one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but you don't get that option with this. I really like Circle of Shepherd. That's really fun.
Yeah. Again, tactical, strategic thinking.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with the lack of animal companions in 5th edition. Not that they're super useful beyond like level 7 anyway, but there isn't any. Even your familiars are lessened in 5th compared to previous editions. This seems to be a great response to that. And I absolutely love it. I think that's a fantastic subclass. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else on...
No, that really is all they get. And I say all because it's just what I mean is that just abilities. But I think they're very effective. And I think they're useful. And I did honestly find it a little more attractive than the other Druid Circles.
Yeah. Look, I don't like traditional Druids, and I don't like werewolves.
Yeah.
Right? So that's it. But there are some far better options. And Druids really are now a viable class to me. As much as I roll my eyes at, oh God, we got to do a Druid episode.
Yeah.
Right? They're so much more fun than they ever have been in the past.
Yeah, for sure. I think in the Meet the DMs, I said they were my least favorite class. I'm kind of interested in playing a Circle of the Shepherd now.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool. And then mixing that with Barbarian, because of course. But doing that, it sounds very
Warlock
intriguing
now.
as a character.
Or Warlock. You're Barbarian, Warlock, Druid, Dan. We've just...
Maybe a little bit of College of the Sword Bard as well.
Throw in 2 levels of Paladin. And
yeah, a little bit of everything.
So, I want to play a character that is 1 level of every class. I just want to know what that would look like.
Your turn would be fucking a nightmare. When you're adding your smite, but you're also adding your hex, but you're
only level 1.
I guess.
So, anyway.
So you're just adding hex.
So anyway, I think that's really cool. Is there anything else we want to talk about with our subclasses?
I don't think so. I think we should do a shout out.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do a shout out. Okay, Rackham, it's your turn to get your shout out on our world famous D&D podcast. Actually, it's doing pretty good.
We're not doing too terrible right now.
I was like, holy fuck. We're in the thousands of downloads now. Okay, my shout out this week is going out to our friend Jackie Rackham, Jackie Jacky _ Rackham RACKEM, because she is
hilarious.
One of the funniest people I've ever talked to on the internet ever.
She's also one of the only people that posts on our YouTube comments, and every once in a while I go in and I'm like, do we just have a private forum with...
It's like her comments. Sometimes I'm just like, fuck you. That's all I say to her. I don't talk to her for 2 days and then I'm just like, just remember I don't like you. See you later. Bye. But also I love you. She is hilarious. Check out her D&D meme page, Jackie Rackham, GACKY _RACKEM. She's hilariously funny. I would never encourage 1,000 people to slide into her DMs, but if you do ever talk to her, she'll make you cry. laughing.
With laughter.
And
With
just
laughter.
because she's also horrifically mean. And she thinks it's hilarious.
I think that's just to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, no, we're actually on a good basis. It's only you.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
literally...
I'm pretty sure it's
literally
just you.
Only me. She's
Yeah.
like, fuck you, you're shit. See you later. Okay, Jackie, there you go. Whack up.
Keep the comments coming. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's one of the like highest, most prolific commenters across the board. So it's like her and some of the All Natural 20 girls are just all over our stuff, and it's great.
Yeah. So let's move on to the last thing. I want to start talking about archetypes, stereotypes, what we like and what we don't. One of the things we didn't touch on yet was which races as well. So let's keep an eye on what the races are for druids. And don't just say elf. I'm taking that away from you now. And initiative. I was a 1, you hit me, I flew across the tray and landed on a 1 again.
That's the second time tonight that's happened.
Yeah, that happened in the clerics episode too. So
However, we both rolled 15s. We got to roll.
We got to
again, my
re-roll.
friend.
Oh, yes, of course. They think we record these on different nights. Oh, I'm going first.
Hey!
Hey!
And by a landslide. I got
by
a
a
3,
landslide.
and Adam
I'm biased.
botched again?
Bias.
What's that?
Saskatchewan
3?
landslide.
You've botched every single episode for the past 3 episodes, at least once.
You
Yeah.
actually... You
yeah,
lost it.
I think I'm channeling some of your life.
can't.
You're welcome.
God damn. All right.
Take my shitty life.
Terry.
Take
No,
it
seriously,
all.
take it. Take it, please.
No,
take
it sounds like
Dear
a
God,
lie.
please take
But
it.
really, I mean, kill me.
All right, Terry. What do we got? Archetypes, stereotypes.
Why do I have anxiety? I'm literally just sitting here.
Okay, it's getting
Sorry.
too real. Let's move on.
Okay, well, Adam, what were you asking me?
Oh, you know, why do we like Dan? So, no, really, I'm asking. No, so the
Because I do all the legwork for the podcast.
so druids.
Yeah.
Okay, archetypes, stereotypes. What unique build do you have? And think about what races you would include as well.
Yeah.
And you can't say elf.
Okay, well, the standard archetypes being, well, that like Radagast type character. You have raised your finger, but not me.
No, it's at Dan.
Dan.
Yeah, he's starting to say elf over and over again just to be a dingus.
Yeah, so the stereotypes, yes, you have that
Elf.
hippie type elf that kind of lives in the woods. He's wearing a long cloak made of leaves and
Baking
whatever.
cookies in a tree.
And yes.
No, he's not Keebler. No, wrong elf.
And-
Okay.
That's a gnome now.
And we all kind of know that stereotype. So yes, elf typically for race, but also I think the other way, like goblin as well, the goblin type shaman. You know,
Yeah.
for NPCs.
Yeah, that very nature-based shamanistic is a druid. So, like,
Yeah.
your orcs, your goblins, your more bestial races, they've
Hobgoblins,
got,
yeah,
they've
yeah.
got, maybe not hobgoblins because they're more militaristic, but they've got druids kicking
Just
around.
cross out this NPC over here.
Would
Cross
you
out
do it for kobolds, or are you going a different divine?
Kobolds, no, kobolds, I go cleric.
It's funny. I could go either way on a kobold.
Yeah.
Heads or tails, man. Whatever.
I'm into it.
Whatever squirms the least.
I've been to it either way. No, I'm done.
Grab a scale. Let's get freaky.
Oh, God.
All right.
Just to clarify, I'm talking about fucking a kobold.
Yeah, no, I think we picked that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
didn't know
I
if
think you were
clear.
abundantly clear about
You were
fucking
clear.
kobolds.
Sound like squeezing a dog toy.
Squeaky, squeaky.
Okay.
I wasn't a part of this one. That was all you two. This is unique.
Okay, races that I would like to do.
Yeah.
Kobolds?
Well, maybe. No, you know what? I'd actually lean into something like a Minotaur, something. If you're going to do
Minotaur
like
Druid?
like,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Badass,
in
yeah.
the Underdark or like Underground or like Labyrinths and stuff, sucking their energy from the earth. I think I'd enjoy that. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, what would you do for like a unique archetype?
A unique archetype. I actually came up with this idea of this very reluctant Moses type character who, for whatever reason, has been punished that they have to guide people across
Heaven Almighty.
across the desert. They have to guide people across the desert for 100 years and have all of this power from nature, which is around them. So like they're druid crafting, like involuntarily, like it's happening around them, but they really don't like it or want it. So they're kind of like if Moses was an absolute dick, which I imagine he would be kind of impatient after a while.
Yeah.
But NPC, this is more than anything that has to guide the party across this very dangerous desert, but just fucking hates his life because he really doesn't like nature.
Yep. So for me, I mentioned him before in a podcast a while ago, but Ari Salvatore has written a dwarf druid into existence.
That's weird. They're normally clerics.
They're normally clerics. I love and he's a bit off. He's a bit weird. He's kind of only says his name for the most part. He's kind of like that level of weird. But I love the idea.
I am Groot.
No, he goes Pickle.
I was thinking Pikachu, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's close. His name's Pickle. But
it's also a signature move.
I would love. I thought that was the
keep talking.
Purple
Keep talking.
saxophone.
Hey, that's my signature.
Hey, that reminds me of my favorite game, Hide the Pickle, but we could talk about that later on.
I would rather not talk about that with you in private.
The pickle is my penis.
Please hide it. Please hide it.
Please hide it.
I'm going to be writing a children's book named Pickle and the Kobold.
Please don't. As the only person here who
That's a
actually
good name
is
for a band.
responsible for the well-being of multiple children, please do not do this thing.
Dan, keep talking. Pickle.
So I'm intrigued by the idea of a dwarven druid. I would go Circle of the Moon with him. He would be shape-shifting to whatever ability he needed in that moment, and use that more physical form to push on. But when he's in his humanoid form, he is weak. He's kind of drawn out, and that's when he's pulling his spells. I'm thinking like he's an aged miner who's like having to he can't push the mine cart anymore, so he transforms into this bear to pull it, right, and go through there. And his wild shape is very much more utilitarian than it is his main push, right? So that's what I would do with a dwarf druid.
You just made me think of it's Bjorn from The Hobbit. He's obviously a druid.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like we talked about Radagast, but it just occurred to me that also Bjorn.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, that's me. I really would encourage people to shy away from the idea of the tree hugger. Like it's played out. Like the has fairies and a crown made of roses or wild flowers that they picked on their travels. Like,
yeah, unless you really lean into it, where you pick up some warlock for like an archfey, you have like a pixie familiar,
yeah,
right, and you're gonna go full bore into this whole hippy dippy bullshit,
yeah,
and you're playing it because it's an over the top stereotype where no man, peace and love, and it's all cool. No, I think that would be fun to play, especially if you've got like a Oath of Vengeance paladin and ancestral garden barbarian, or
ancestral guardian.
Yeah. So you've got these like super serious martial, and he's like, "No, man, peace and love. It's so cool, dude."
Yeah, he's the one like
just sliding,
puff pass,
sliding the daisy at the end of his heavy crossbow.
Yeah. So that's when I can see that it would be used
down
as
the jungle path. All we are saying.
I see it as a good dichotomy to what the rest of the party is. A good juxtaposition. But
it would be. I want to go dark. I'd go full pagan, or I'm going like voodoo.
Yeah. So okay, are you done, Dan?
I'm done. Yeah, I was thinking about going voodoo, but I was like, no. This. I have a feeling Adam's going to go something along that line.
Yeah, close, but this is not a character that I would play. This is a character that I desperately want someone else to play. In a campaign that I'm DMing because I want to work with them and watch this character.
I was going to say, who plays D&D like that? This would be a great character for you.
This is something that I would be super excited to see in a game and even to play with. I would take a... so your character's a young girl. Oh, sorry, Dan, who's what race?
Oh, dwarf. I mentioned.
Dwarf? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Sure. I would pick a young girl who hits puberty, and I'm thinking the movie Carrie. Okay, and all of a sudden the magic powers start to sprout from her, and she doesn't know why, and everything that happens feels weird and unnatural, and it's because there's a druidic circle. It says nothing about you having to be in the circle. You are a part of it, and you get it from the magic that is summoned by the circle of other druids.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking that there's a coven of witches. There's 12 of them, and they need the 13th to finish their coven. And this girl, I'm pulling kind of out of hag lore a little bit with this. You know, she's on her 13th birthday, or she just hits puberty, or whatever it is. And on the night that happens, she can suddenly see symbols and messages in the woods that other people can't see. And she hears other people, like a crazy, dirty man on the street, talking to himself, and everyone else just hears weird mumbling, and she hears him making sense.
Yeah.
Right? And so you would, as a player, know which spells you would be like, okay, I'm terrified, so as a reaction to this, not a reaction mechanic, but like a flavorful, I am reacting to the scenario by casting this, and I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
And so you become terrified of your own power. And one of the big bads, I would say the end of tier 3 would be this coven of witches, which is now coming to get the girl.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so the other people are going to protect her, or her parents say, go with your uncle, who's one of the other party members, and he'll protect you because...
He's like a retired champion fighter or something.
Champion fighter, or even a cleric who's trying to exorcise her demons.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, there's some really cool flavor in there.
Yeah.
And all of the nature druid. She has dreams of primordial beings. And she can conjure up... like, she falls down unconscious because she gets hit by the assassin sent to go get her by the church who's trying to stop the witches. Mm-hmm. Right? So she falls unconscious, and suddenly 4 snakes pop out of her. Right? Or she freaks out and accidentally misty steps across the room. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I think that's a really neat kind of character to play. And a druid kind of leans into that. Warlock would too.
Yep.
Be a great NPC for like a bodyguard mission as well.
Yeah. So I really like that character. I think it's a lot of fun. As far as what race, I know that people have been yelling at their speakers to say Eladrin.
Yep. I was deliberately leaning away from it.
I would also say Genasi, depending on if you're doing Circle of the Land and you're already tied to coastal, be water, mountain, be, I guess. No, mountain was all mold stone and stone rock and passable. So, and earth Genasi. Like, I would kind of try to lean into whatever that is. For swamp, I would go air. And fire, I'm not sure. You wouldn't go forest.
Nope.
I don't. Maybe the Underdark, because you just can light areas and see in the dark you get dark vision as a fire genasi, so that makes sense.
Yep.
So anyway, that's where I'm coming from. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about for druids?
Love it. No, I do not.
You still don't like him, hey Terry?
Yeah. I can only make sounds at this point.
So the way I look at it, there's still a class that it would be an effort for me to play. I don't see me easily flowing into them. Like, there's some classes, barbarian, druid, barbarian, bard, warlock, like these, paladin, like these things I kind of flow into, and I find them easy to play. This would be a challenge for me to play. And if you out there are anything like I am and enjoy the challenge, I would not mind playing a druid for like a 3-shot. Like,
you want to sample it and see?
I want to sample it and see what I could do. Like, let's roll one up at 6th level and let them roam around for a little bit and see what happens.
You should make druid NPCs.
Yeah, and I fully intend to for the homebrew that I'm doing right now. But yeah, man, I would steer away from the Circle of the Moon stuff, unless it was less of the focus of the druid.
I'm going to put a Circle of the Moon druid as an NPC into my werewolf campaign in tier 1 to subvert the stereotype. Yeah. And so you think you found who the werewolf is, and no, it was a Circle of the Moon.
Yeah.
Right. I can't see myself using it in any other example.
No. But like using a Circle of the Shepherd or a Circle of the Spore, which is so flavorful, so awesome, and I can't wait till we get to cover it.
Yeah.
But like go into that direction with it.
The Xanathars are definitely better.
Yeah.
Flavor wise. I really like Circle of Land. I love the idea of
it's more of a spell-casty guy as well, right?
Yeah.
Really leans into what the strength of the druid is. And I find a lot of people who play into the Circle of the Moon, they're focusing on a class feature that they don't get a whole hell of a lot. So why are you focusing on that when the most powerful part of the class is the fact that you are summoning these nature-fueled eldritch powers?
Yeah.
Through spells. Like I would want to play like a 3-off of a Druid caster, Circle of Land, something.
Yeah, I guess the thing that I like about Druid, one of my big complaints about D&D at all, especially 5th edition, I mean, this was true of the last couple of editions as well. Magic isn't magical anymore. It's not fantastical. We play a fantasy world where magic is mundane and nobody gives a shit. I feel like a druid is magical, where a wizard's like, hey, I got a book, and a cleric prays, and a warlock,
I think a druid feels more magical because they feel truly more connected to the elements in the earth.
Yeah.
And so you feel that raw kind of magic.
Yeah, I like that a little bit better. I like the idea that you guys go into the urban campaign and everybody gets their own room at the inn for the next 3 or 4 weeks. You walk into the druid's room and he's got totems up and he's smeared mud sigils all over the walls and stuff. It was warding for whatever it is, or to get him closer to God. He's just to his God. He's put a whole bunch of just plants and covered the ground in soil, and he's planted in this.
For some reason, he's hanging upside down.
Oh yeah,
or he's taking the sheets off of the bed to make like a tent or something.
Yeah, like he's gonna be a little bit weird, and I like that. Also, Ace Ventura was a druid.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of the animal companion and shit that it used to be ranger.
Circle of the Shepherd, definitely.
I'm just the do not go in there. He just cast Cloud Kill. That's what he did.
It's no stinking cloud.
Yeah, stinking cloud. Do not go in there.
But no, I think that that a lot of the animal companion stuff that we're missing in 5th edition is hiding in Druid, and it's one of the more underutilized classes. I would play it now, but I wouldn't play the shape change. I would very rarely to get out of prison.
Yep.
I would do it. I would be like, okay, look, everybody turn around, don't look at me. I got to do this thing. Just, please avert your eyes.
Just like really awkward with it as well.
Yeah, like turn into a
God,
mouse.
did I do it again?
Get out of the bars, come back.
The Invisible Boy from Mystery Men?
No, not even. I would like turn into a mouse, crawl out of the bars, hope that everyone's still not looking as I reach in and grab my robe and put it back on. Right? I would choose to never bring it with me, so I pop out naked. Just because if I'm going to have this ability and never use it, I'm going to make it flavorful or
when
funny.
When you walk into the room in the inn that you were talking about, the druid needs to be naked but covered in mud and all of the symbols and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the druid's one with war paint.
Yeah.
Right? As much as we're giving it to barbarians and rangers to a degree, the druid is one with war paint.
Yeah.
And I guess those are really the three. They're the trifecta of your natural classes.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there talking to three little wood totems made out of like teeth and wood.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there like cackling.
I feel like they, as much as we say like clerics see omens and things, I feel like the druid would be the one that would like grab your face and like suddenly start whispering weird shit to you.
That heavy presence of divination everywhere in the druid class.
Yeah.
Like that's why that's there for sure.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's a really interesting class if we can break the vegan bullshit out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that vegans are bullshit. You guys can have your own opinions on that one, right? I'm not saying that going vegan is a problem.
Just stop saying vegan.
Just
stop saying vegan.
Move on. We'll get a bunch of
They
emails.
can hear you. They're telepathic.
They've eaten enough carrots.
They're already outside.
Yeah. So, but if you're just doing no, nature is cool, man, and we don't hurt animals. That's going to get real old real fast.
Yeah.
And a lot of us that have played the game for enough years have run into that more than once, and we're tired. Do something different. 5th Ed, I feel, has finally given us something different. Right? Yeah. And they also gave us werewolf bullshit. Anything else that we want to add?
No, I think I'm done.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Next week, I believe we're covering goblins, gentlemen.
Gobbies.
And I have a feeling like it's going to be a long episode.
Yeah, we've been getting a little bit longer. I think that's just because we're getting a little bit more comfortable with things and
a little bit more in depth. And the class ones are going to be longer.
Yeah,
right?
We're getting older, we're more bitter.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm just getting younger by the day.
Benjamin Button,
got the old Benjamin Buttons over there.
You guys missed that. I went to like wave my hair, but I don't have hair, so I'm almost like the beard wave.
I know I have this long, beautiful hair, but the sacrifice is that I have very little in the beard region.
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming, Terry, that you were like hairless from the neck down. That you were just like a human
100%.
man dolphin.
100%. We'll tell our now thousands. I may have said it before. Now thousands of downloaders. Yes, I am hairless from the nose down.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm hairless from the nose up.
That is very true.
You do have eyebrows.
Yeah, but they're like pale blonde. They like if I'm not like in any way exerting myself.
There's
my
not a
face goes
full
blood red.
eyebrow in this room right now.
Keep hold of that beard, otherwise you're gonna look like Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I got a lot when I still had more hair. I got a lot of like Sedine twin like comparisons. Like, oh, are you the third one? It's like,
no one outside of Vancouver knows anything.
I'm fat. What do you know? No.
So we're gonna all hail Maglubiet next week.
I'm not inhaling anything, man. I'm straight edge, to be honest with you.
Well, then you shouldn't have been on the Druid.
Dude, I'm not into the dark arts. I know we just talked about Druids, but
anyway, so we will catch you next week. Thanks very much, and you can check us out at It's a Mimic on Instagram and It's a Mimic D&D on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And don't be afraid to send us questions and get as involved in the comments as possible. We love hearing from you guys. Yeah, most of you guys. Not you. You know who I'm talking to.
Thank you for listening to It's a Mimic. Check us out online at itsamimic.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Have questions you would like answered by the guys on the show? Send them an email to itsamimic@gmail.com. Tune in every Tuesday for more.
Note to self, polymorph. Good name for a were-parrot. Fuck you guys.
That's beautiful. That's lovely. Tag that on the end of the episode.